Do you want to feel positive? Of course you do. We all do. Everybody in the world chasing that feeling of positivity, wanting to be free from negativity, wanting to feel unchained from doubt, from the confusion of culture, from the fear of your personal life, from the constant wanting, the feelings of not being good enough. Excuse me. This meditation is going to make you feel more positive. How do I know this? Because, don't take my word for it, this apparently is a meditation that our Lord Jesus Christ used to do, and the Buddha too. It's known as the Smiling Buddha Kriya. Now, who knows what Jesus got up to? The records, from a historical perspective, strongly suggest he's an apocalyptic preacher talking about the end of days. But if you're a prophet and you're operating on the frequency of the mind of God, then, time. Imagine how you regard time if you're tuned into the mind of God, where mountains slowly move to the sea, where geological formations tumbling from the tops of caves appear to be moving in real time, where you can see the movements of the planets, the heavenly spheres all move within your consciousness. This is what it is to transcend the individual. This is what it is to access realms of reality that we are excluded from because of our obsession with the five sense mind. I spoke to the great evolutionary biologist Brett Weinstein the other day, who's it's become of late, in my view, incorrectly a controversial figure because of his analytical talk around the coronavirus and treatments of coronavirus. But he is an evolutionary biologist, and when you hear him talk about evolutionary biology, he's so circumspect, so clinical, and in some regards skeptical and cynical, particularly about the nature of the sacred and the divine. But why would an evolutionary biologist not be? It's their duty, job, task of an evolutionary biologist to understand from an evolutionary biological perspective the creation of consciousness, the creation of life, the movements of all biology. So, though I believe, discrete, opposing that particular scientific view, that within consciousness we access portals, dimensions and realms that will always be mysterious. And as I said to our man, the human potential to hold and contain knowledge is limited. Information and knowledge themselves, presumably like the cosmos, are without limit. At some point we will require faith. At some point we will require prophets. The prophet is the word made flesh. The prophet lives by the principles of compassion. The only way to overcome these fears, these anxieties and inadequacies, this sense of inferiority, this sense of constant longing, is for you to master yourself. True mastery is mastery over yourself. The illusion of mastery, dominion over others. It don't matter how you can dominate the other people in your life. What did Hitler really achieve? On those moments at the podium, as they goose-stepped by, surely he thought he'd conquered all, like every leader, every dictator, various degrees on the scale. What did they achieve really? Nothing. They didn't conquer themselves. In the case of Hitler, died a meth addict in a bunker, having inflicted great misery upon the planet, or at least participated strongly in what was probably a very complex political situation, but certainly he didn't help, did he? I don't think many people are saying Hitler helped. To align with the mind of Christ, to align with the mind of Buddha and what that implies, a kind of a transcendent state where the life force itself can gain access to us, according to this particular exercise that we're trying, sit like old Russ is sitting now. Put your fingers like this. Hold your elbows at your side like that. Angle forward slightly. Close the eyes. Concentrate your energy here, at this part of you. We're going to be doing this for a little while. We're going to do it for, 3 minutes, yeah? And I'll be doing this chant with the eyes shut. You'll be doing it too. You'll inhale. You don't do that flourish. That's me showing off. Satanama, Satanama. Pull the chin in a little bit. Satanama. Keep the head, chest and neck in a line. Satanama. You do it as long as you can, right? And then when you can't do it no more, you inhale again nasally and you carry on this thing. To close this out, we inhale deeply and exhale entirely, and then we pump these little fists of ours. And apparently our Lord Jesus did it. Apparently the Buddha did it. Whether you believe that or not, let's just see how it makes you feel. See if it changes your consciousness. Check in with how you feel right now before you do this. Think about how you feel about the fears in your world, the doubts in the world, the problems in your relationships, your doubts about yourself, your fear about the pandemic, all that stuff. Feel it for a moment. Then try this exercise and tell me how you feel afterwards. Meanwhile, my cat's giving birth to kittens in another room and life rolls on. The glory. Now, to start this stuff, we use a tune-in meditation mantra. Ong Namo Gurudev Namo, Ong Namo Gurudev Namo, Ong Namo Gurudev Namo. Here I'm going to do that, and we close out with the old Satnam, 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 but I'll elongate it. Satnam. Hong Namo Gurudev Namo Hong Namo Gurudev Namo Hong Namo Gurudev Namo Satanama 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 Satnam Satnam Satnam. Well, I meditate a lot anyway, so I have been granted access to aspects of my nature that are not at least continually bound to external requirements and movements. But an exercise like that does make me feel more attuned, even in a sort of a sensual and sensorial way, to different aspects of nature. It's good to do exercises like that. So try them. I think you will feel more positive, and you'll feel that like your whole identity ain't contingent on outside stuff the whole time. Cultivate these things. Says it'd do that 11 minutes. We did it about 3. Try it for longer. Let me know what you thought of it in the comments below. If you like stuff like that, you should probably subscribe to my podcast on Luminary Above the Noise, which in addition to Under the Skin, which is a deep, intense conversation every week, Above the Noise is a kind of guided meditation every single week. If you're not signing up to my mailing list yet, sign up to it. There's a link in the description. If you've enjoyed this video, have a look at this one, another awakening video. If you want to learn some more about the reason the world's so crazy, have a look at this on the main channel. And if you like football, have a listen to Football is Nice, my podcast that I've just started doing. Thanks very much. Remember to become a member of my community.